good evening, good evening. This is your girl Zaharraa Geyhanna with Modelz Talk. Yes. Welcome, panelists. Welcome. How are you this evening? How are you guys doing? You doing good?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm
doing
doing
well.
good.
Nice to see you. Nice to have everybody on. You're looking fantabulous. Thank you so much for coming on and being live with me. Hello, Angel. We're going to be talking about that New York Fashion Week. Angel and who else participated?
Not me.
I did.
Yeah, Jacinta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Sounds good to me. And we have our photographer, Miss Kat Williams. We have Miss Delisa, and she is our designer. And then we have one of our models, and that's Miss Cookie. How you doing?
Hello.
Good.
Well, welcome. And here we just talk about it, y'all. We go from one extreme to the other. You know, it's all well and good. First up, New York Fashion Week. Let's talk about it. Okay, Miss Jacinta, what you got to tell me about Fashion Week this year?
Okay, so what I can say, it is fun. This is my first time going to New York for Fashion Week. Um, my number one thing I always try to do is network, and I met a lot of people like from mainly the West Coast, which is like really interesting because I've never been. So I got a lot of good connections, like a lot of different stuff that I got going on now just from like that one experience. And just from walking in one show, I got to go to like, I got a whole nother fashion show, whole nother photo shoot, just networking. It was fun. Like it's an experience. I encourage everyone to at least try to go at least once if you're a model.
Angel, what do you got for me? I know you were there. Tell me about it. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Whatever you got, we're willing to talk about it.
I know. I think kind of what the last woman said. It was a fun experience. It was my first time ever doing like getting invited for 3 shows, and I'm just kind of like I was freaking out.
Wow.
Um, it was definitely an experience. Very hectic, very much fast paced. Everything is fast paced, fast moving. So it's something I can see myself doing again now that I know what to expect. I'll be more prepared next time.
Okay. So what did you expect when you were going into Fashion Week? Or New
Because
York
again,
Fashion Week. Let me say it like that. New York's Fashion Week.
I was just I was expecting some like walkthroughs, a lot of walkthroughs and a lot of fittings, and pretty much that's it. But we had a lot of meetings, a lot of this works, this doesn't work. Let's try this on. A lot of people dropping out and then putting people in at the last minute. So it was an experience. I never experienced
Well,
nothing like that before.
how could it have been better for you?
It wasn't bad. It was just I think I just wasn't expecting the fast pacedness of it all. I should have been more what's the word I'm looking for? Aware of my situations. Like, okay, this happens. People
Uh-huh.
drop out, people come in. It's very high stress, and I just think I next time be more prepared for like the stress and what goes into it. And a lot of traveling and train stopping. It's just a lot of moving parts.
Oh wow. So how did you get through the trains stopping and the moving parts?
Okay, well, the train stop. What I had to do obviously was leave early, give myself ample time to get there, and also I didn't know, like when they pay for example, the first fashion show I did, we paid for the model for the walk for 2 hours, and then
Uh-huh.
it ran over to like 3.5 hours. So you just kind of move stuff around in your life. If this is something that you're committed to, like this is your craft, like it is mine. I'm like, okay, I can push back a dinner date or I can push this back. So it's just a lot of moving parts, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the lifestyle of it all. So
Cool.
it didn't really bother me that much.
All right. Well, I didn't think it bothered you at all. I think you had a fantabulous time and you made a great effort to do your job and do what you love to do. And that's what you do. You just keep it moving. Jacinta, did you have any of those difficulties moving back and forth?
Same. I feel like you said, like if you're committed to it, like it's a part of the life for me. Like I'm more than used to it. So it's like I like when I say like I don't have too much to say about it, like when it comes to modeling, I'm not a complainer. Like when you say it's so fast paced, like one of the things I learned is down there is like well up there, it's like like if you hear about an audition or just know about a show, like I've seen models just wasn't even invited, just walked in and started being a part of, just because other females dropped out, and it's like, oh, well, you just happen to be here. It's like, I've never thought to do that as a model. Like I said, like you learn some things. So it's like you learn a lot of tricks of the trades. It is very fast paced. Like like I said, like I was walking down a show, and the same designer that I walked for, he just was like, are you available tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay, like I'm gonna send you the flyer, I'm gonna send you this, like, like, and I'm just like, okay. Like it's so fast, like, and even then, it was just like such a last minute thing for me when you're not really a part of the show, but like now I'm like walking on, and like the random dressing rooms,
opportunity.
Yes, the random walkways. It's fun though. Like
I'm sure
I live for it.
Delicia, would you love to show at Fashion Week?
Oh, I would love to. We were just talking about Paris, so that sounds good. The one in February would be beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, they would be. They have so many different shows, and so many different designers, and it's a show going on at all times. It's a full week of shows.
Wow, it just sounds so exciting.
Well, tell us about you, Mr. Lisa.
Well, first of all, I am a designer. I am with Delisa Designs. My motto is a hint of African print. So I do high fashion, and I just trim things in the African print and come up with a design like that. I don't do the whole outfit in the African print. To me, that's a bit much. I just like to kind of,
dabble.
Yeah, with that. So that's kind of my theme. And I was in a part of your fashion show in June, the Purple and Pearls, and had such a beautiful time. It was such a beautiful vibe. And Jacinta, who's here with us today, was one of my models, or she modeled for me, and it was just beautiful.
Yes, it was. It was really a good time. I look forward to walking for you.
Oh, same. I look forward to you walking for me.
I would love to step
You
forward.
have so much class. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank
you.
But
I would like to throw a question out there.
Sure.
What does every fashion show in America, or every designer, what do they need?
Models.
Okay, true. That's very true.
Is that what you're looking for?
No.
Okay.
Louis Jones. They need Louis Jones.
Yes,
he was such a great promoter, and
yes, he is.
Yes,
we can't say enough about Louis.
Yes, he put he took the flyer, he put my picture on the flyer and personalized it. And then he the models, he put my logo on it, and he just had me shining, and the pictures were so beautiful. Then he did the beautiful video clips, and so I was Instagram ready, and every fashion show needs one of him.
Well, Cookie, I haven't talked to you yet. Tell me about yourself.
Hello. So I'm from Alabama, and I moved up originally to Toledo, Ohio, and I started modeling, and now I live in Detroit, and I've started to do it more consistently. And I'm looking to take it to the next level, and go full time with modeling.
Uh-huh. Well, your picture is beautiful. Your
Thank you.
pictures are lovely. Well,
Thank you.
so basically, you're just starting out.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a newbie, you guys. Look at those pictures. I mean, they are wonderful. Look at you in the black and white and red. Well, all right now. What
Thank you.
designer was this?
Um,
You remember the designer name or who you
mm,
modeled for?
it was Daryl Reese.
All right. Well, I see the Cabrilla DeVille inspiration here, and the Dalmatians with the vests on. Very nice. Two-tone hair, you're rocking. Love it in the
Thank you.
silver down below. You look really, really nice. Good job. Good job.
Thank you so
Kudos
much.
to you. Kudos to you. Yes. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank
Welcome to the industry. And you're going to make great strides here. You're going to learn a lot. Listen up. Ask questions. That's what we're here for. Okay? So don't just be shy now. I want you to chime in anytime you're ready. All right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Angel, how long have you been doing this?
This is my second year now doing this.
Oh, yeah? So where do you
Yeah.
come from, Angel? Tell us a little bit
Okay.
about yourself.
I'm originally born and raised here in Queens, New York. But I did not get into modeling professionally until I moved overseas 4 years ago and I live in Guatemala. Um, I was dating my partner and he was like, "Hey, I think they're doing a casting for this thing." I really wasn't interested in it, but I did it. I got signed, and I was on August 6th. August 6th, and it's been 2 years, and so I just want to give Guatemala a shout out because it gave me the foundation. Guatemala really did give me the foundation to come to New York and start booking. So I am with an agency. I'm with Iseta casting agency there, and I've
Say
been there
that
for 2
again.
years there.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Iseta.
Can you slow down
Oh,
for me and say
I'm
that
sorry.
again?
Iseta Casting Agency.
All
So
right.
it's IZ, and casting the agency, but in
Okay.
Spanish it's Iseta. But yeah, so they really gave me the foundation that I needed and taught me the ropes. So I kind of got brave enough and bold enough, and because I am a citizen, I said, you know what, I'm going to do Fashion Week. So I started applying to jobs while in Guatemala because I knew I was coming the
Mhm.
beginning of this month.
Mhm.
And by the grace of God, they liked my digitals, and they was like, all right, we need you to do a virtual casting because I was in Guatemala. I'd never done that before. It's kind of weird to go on Zoom and walk, but it worked. I sent them my measurements, and that was also kind of weird because we use centimeters. Here we use inches, so the metrics are different. And it was just all of it, like I said in the beginning, was an experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, so 2 years. Definitely,
Well,
it's been 2 years.
I'm sure you felt good with it. It felt good to be out there with the experience of it all.
Yes, definitely gave me a confidence booster because I like kind of felt like I knew what I was doing, but it's
Uh-huh.
one thing to know what you're doing and to actually be on stage doing it. And like in America, this is the standard, the goal international now. And it's like, oh my God, I'm representing back home, and then here I am. It's just
Well,
nerve
what is the
wracking, but a
difference
good
between
feeling.
okay? What's the difference between Guatemala and American?
The,
What is the
I,
differences?
okay, the difference is that in Latin America, we have a fashion industry, but it's not as prominent as here in America, where it's really, really big.
Okay.
There, it's like Costa Rica is another big one. It's still not as big as America, meaning like I do get jobs, I do get campaigns, but it's not as prevalent, it's not as popular. It's still a niche, type of niche thing.
Uh-huh.
Versus here, it's very big. So to make it there and then come to America and flourish here, it's like a really big thing because it's like there's way more opportunities here than it is back over there.
Wow. Okay. I'm sure that was like an eye-opening experience.
Yeah, my agency is really proud of me. I mean, they was reposting everything on the
I'm
agency
sure.
page. It was, and it's a big blessing because I'm American, but to have the support of like the Latin American culture, they really
Yes.
support me and like pushing me, like, come on, like, take us to the top. So it's like that's how I feel. So I that's why this was a blessing to be able to do this. And I have the Latin show tomorrow. The flyer I sent you, that's
Oh,
tomorrow,
really?
and
Okay.
the designer's
You
from
make sure
Guatemala.
you send us
So
some pictures.
I definitely will. So it's like she's Guatemalan, so it's a full circle moment for her to be hosting Fashion Week, and then to me be part of it and be. So it's a full circle moment.
All right. Do we have Miss Cat on? Is Cat Williams on? Okay. Jacinta, what did you learn behind the scenes? What did you see with other models? Did you have model love?
Yes, one thing that I did learn is to, like, no matter where I'm at, is to make friends.
Uh-huh.
Like, one thing you just like can never have enough of is love and
All right
motivation
now.
and promoting. Like, you meet different people from different places. Like, it's good to have them, like, at least just one or two people, to where it's like every time I go to New York, I got my one or two people that I didn't came in touch with, that, like, no matter what, like, she's sending me shows, like, if you can make it to this, like, come. And it's like, now I'm putting her on to, like, shows down here. It's like,
Uh-huh.
like, that's one thing that I learned, like, to always, like, mainly network and make friends,
Right.
like, be genuine.
Right. Oh, okay. Cat, I can't see you. You're absolutely right. Tell me something from the photographer. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm not going to go into everything. But Miss Cat, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? We would love to see you. Oh, okay. Miss Sheila's watching. I'm sorry, Miss Cat, I can barely hear you. Okay. Maybe you should go out and try come back in. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Miss Delicia, what do you look for in your models?
I look for them to be their self and just show their individual elegance, and not try to be like anybody else, or what they call the famous models, or try to be like them or walk like them. I like to see their uniqueness.
Uh-huh. And when you
Yeah.
say uniqueness, what do you mean by that? Because that can mean something different to me, and Jacinta and Angel and baby girl up here.
Well, when I say
Miss Cookie.
uniqueness, I mean each individual bring out their own style, their own beauty. That's what I like to see. And not everybody walking alike or that type of thing, but just to see their own beauty to come out.
Come out from within.
Yes, thank you. That's
From
what I was
within.
trying to say.
I see your hands going like this, so I'm assuming from within. That's what we're talking
Right.
about. Yes, ma'am. I understand, because that's exactly, what I like to see too in experienced or newcomers, Miss Cookie, this would be a good thing for you to be interested in and listen to. That inner beauty coming out will help you go a long way, right, Mr. Lisa?
That's right. That's
You know?
right.
So what do you think about that, Miss Cookie?
Oh, I'm definitely listening. I'll take all the advice I could get. Thank
Have
you.
you tried a model coach?
I'm sorry?
Have you tried a model coach yet?
No, ma'am.
Oh, you may be interested in looking up model coaches. Just be careful.
Okay.
Okay.
What should I be careful? Like, what should I look for?
Miss Jacinta, what should she look for in a model coach?
Mainly, like, what I say is just, like, always be able to be constructive without being too criticism. Like I don't know how to say that, but, like, just when it comes to taking initiative, like, most girls, like, it really just be like, no matter what age, it's the talking. You have to show dominance. You have to show that, like, you're serious. You have to show that you're here to help. Like,
Yes.
that's the main thing. Like, because most of the time, like, when girls are or there and come to walk, they feel like they know. They feel like this. And I've been walking for over 10 years, and I still like coming to the place like I'm here to learn. So like you don't always get that. So you have to basically like enforce that I'm here to help you. Like
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've been in the game over 50 years and I'm still learning. You know,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't use what I can use what I've learned in the past, but I also have to use what I learn here and now and for the future. And then encompass everything together to make my individuality stand out. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do to keep it unique to myself and my brand. Hello there, Miss Cat.
Hello, thank you.
Hello.
Uh,
Miss Cat, what do we look for in you as a photographer? Tell us some things about you, Miss Cat.
let me first say good evening again in my good Southern way. I am in Texas. My name
Hello.
is Kat Williams. I am a photographer. I refer to myself usually as a photography curator.
Hmm.
And I, as you can see, some of my images that I have
All right.
here. Um, when we say look for a photographer, vibes are always something that comes out in photos.
Yes,
Make
ma'am.
sure that the person that you're choosing fits the ideal style of shooting that you're interested in displaying in your
Bless you.
portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are strictly high fashion, you need to find someone who shoots high fashion on a consistent basis, not someone that dabbles and dabbles in it. If
Mm-hmm.
that's something they consistently do, or they're breaking into it and they have passion for it, then that's someone you want to look into. If you're looking for, because a lot of people associate only modeling with New York Fashion Week, Miami Fashion Swim Week. Um, they only think of that mindset, but there's so many arenas of modeling.
Yes.
So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have to make sure that the person you choose is also an individual that's going or that's very versed in the lane that you're going down. So, for example, I normally shoot say boudoir and storytelling, those type of models that I would and plus size. Now, when it comes to fashion, I started out in plus size. So a
Okay.
lot of people that I shot were plus size models due to uh, my soror in our sorority. She was a
All
designer.
right.
That's CC the model. We have been published multiple times.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this was in what was said before. If you have to be open-minded. So sometimes you will meet a photographer that may not always say, hey, we're not going to shoot unless you're going to pay. Or the other half is the model wants to get paid. Sometimes you have to have collaborative efforts. And just so happens Cece and myself have collaborative efforts. So that was a moment where we went down to the beach. And that was wintertime in Texas. So, that was kind of cold at the beach.
Yeah.
And we was like December 30th or something like that.
Wow.
So those are the things you have to look for. These are other opportunities. TFP. All TFP does not turn out to be, it's all, you don't get the best quality, people would say that, but that's not true. A lot of times when you see TFP opportunities, take advantage of them. That is a networking opportunity.
Yes.
Some of those TFP opportunities are also connected with designers and stylists.
Absolutely.
So you may not be aware of who the designer and stylist is at the time. All you're aware is either it's a photographer or a photography studio. So you want to sign up for those. But do your due diligence and do your research.
Absolutely. That is all of that information is just fantabulous. And everybody needs to hear that because all photographers aren't created equal. They just aren't, and there are photographers, like you say, you have to do your due diligence and research the photographer or whomever, be a designer, true, Mr. Lisa,
Oh
be a
yeah,
designer
I
or
just wanted to come
model.
in and say everything she said was so on point, and I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense to do your due diligence in order to understand who you're going to be dealing with. Because so many of us, unfortunately, get scammed, even in TFPs. You know, we can get into a situation that is very uncomfortable. You know, so you know, another thing that I always suggest is doing the buddy system. If the photographer is not comfortable with you bringing somebody, I may be a little apprehensive in going in the first place, even if it's a TFP or a paid modeling opportunity.
Yes.
You know, so if your gut is telling you one thing and somebody else is whispering in your ear something else, you have to go with what your gut instincts are. You know, and I want all of you, I'm sure Jalicia, excuse me, not Jalicia, sorry, Jacinta, I'm sure you've had that experience once before, twice before, where you didn't feel comfortable. Am I correct?
Yes, I
Okay,
definitely
can
had
you
like
tell us
two
about
major
that?
experiences in my life that I was like, it kind of made me apprehensive when it came to modeling. I feel like especially being young, because the first time I was like 17, like this is when I first started like just getting into photo shoots, and a lot of people always offer to shoot me. So like, you know, at first I was like, I don't want to shoot with like no man. Like, you know, I just be like, you know, there's women photographers. Like, and this is when I was young. So when I started growing up and started being on some like, you know, in order for me to work, there's not too many female models like I mean photographers like I thought there were at the time. Like I was like 17, and just, you know, I just ran into a guy who just like, I could just tell that he liked me, and I was just too young.
Yeah.
And it was like just one of them experiences where it was like, you know, like if you can go with somebody, especially if you're young, I prefer you do. Like, because it took me a lot to be like where I am now. Like, I don't need no one to come with me now. Like, I can read the room very well, and my mouth is, you know, we're not going to play that now. But it's like growing up, like, I was very timid. So it was like my first photo shoot ever. And I'm like, in his apartment with his studio and how it's normally set up nowadays that I'm what I'm used to. But at that time, I just, you know, I never been to a studio, so I didn't know it would be in someone's apartment like that. But it was like a very awkward situation. Like I said, I shouldn't have been by myself. But like I said, I was 17. I was just now learning, and that's my advice. Like if you can go with somebody else and you're just starting off, I prefer you do. Or nowadays you can always share your location, but it is just, you know, better safe to be sorry. Like.
Well, the question is popped up on my screen. What is it like to shoot with Lewis Jones?
My first shoot with Lewis, I was the same, 17. Like I was like super young. It was like before I had kids or anything, and like it went so smooth. Like you say, like you can vibe with people, and it was like he had me meet him at his job at first, and I'm like, well, where are we going to shoot at for meeting at his job? Like, but then when I say like, that's one of them, like I was young, and that's one of my first experiences where it was like, you know, like you're the model, you make the scene. Like, that's what he taught me. I appreciate
absolutely. Him. That's a good point. You're the model, you make the scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, I appreciate you saying that and bringing up our dear beloved Lewis Jones. I am grateful to him. I have some news for everybody that I would love to share at this time. I just put up another billboard in Buckhead, Atlanta, y'all. Buckhead. Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
There you go.
That's beautiful.
I like that.
Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. You know, there you go, right there. I am Zaharraa Geyhanna. Yes. Thank you. Well, I mean, I am just fascinated by what everybody is bringing right now. Angel, when you're shooting with photographers, how do you feel? I mean, you're a guy. Do you bring somebody with you?
Okay, to be honest, no.
Okay.
I haven't done that since, that was a long time ago. When I was like 18, 19. I had a weird experience, but now that I'm signed to an agency, I know everything is booked. It's through the agency. I know it's safe. It's always at a studio location, or it's going to be at the beach, or like I did this photo shoot for Skechers. That was in the
Uh-huh.
Skechers factory, so
Okay.
I know it. So I just go by myself.
Go sketch.
Um, yeah, I go by myself. And due to
So,
limited time, limited space, I don't like to bring. And then sometimes some of the clothes that we're shooting aren't out yet. I don't want to, because we signed a contract, those NDAs, and I'm like, I don't want to bring a friend, and then all of that. So no, I'm cool. I'm
okay, but
cool.
you had an experience that made you feel awkward. What was that experience? May
I
I
was
ask? I mean, if you don't want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
it, you don't have to.
It's fine. I was 19. I was here in New York City. This is when Model Mayhem was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I got
Explain what,
a
wait, stop. Explain what model mayhem is so people will know
my,
what that is.
Model Mayhem. I don't know if it's still active now, but Model Mayhem was a site where you would go on, you will upload your best professional photos, and then you will kind of like casting, kind of like a Facebook group page for jobs, but it was called Model Mayhem. And I went on there. I got booked for a show with this one guy. I won't say his name. He did have a studio, but it was me and a few other models there. I mean, it was a gorgeous loft, but the stuff that went on there, the access that they give you to get you in the mood to model. I mean, I was only 18. I shouldn't be around all that stuff. So after that experience, I just kind of like walked away from it from a while because in New York, you know, there is a lot of scams. There is a lot of people saying, "Oh, pay me $800. I take your headshots and then I sign to my agency," and you kind of just don't know who to trust.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I would say one other experience was before I got signed, living in Guatemala. When I was like, when I was like, anyway, I was getting these messages online from guys saying, "Oh, you're attractive. I want to, you know, film you, take some videos," and the stuff that they want you to do would be like in men lingerie,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, and my agency, thank God, with the agency, they protect me from stuff like that now. Like, no, don't
Mm-hmm.
work with this photographer because they're known to do extra stuff. So those are the only two times in my lives where I kind of had an awkward situation.
Do you have any recommendations for young men that are out there listening right now? Just what
um,
give us from
yeah,
your own
yeah.
personal experience. What
I,
recommendations do you have?
I would say honestly, take care of your image. This is the biggest thing I can say, and because whatever you post online will be out there forever. And if you want your mama or your friends seeing it, don't post it online because when you are becoming a model or aspiring model or am a model, you become a brand now, and you have to navigate that brand so money can keep coming in.
Right.
And now that we're in influencer culture, social media culture, like I just did 2 brand deals, and that's because of the way I curate myself as a black man. And I'm like, okay, I want people to examine me this way. And also, I would just tell young men, kind of just be careful of predators. I mean, we all hear about the stories; they do exist. They will trade time for photos, or they will actually kind of sleep with them for certain jobs. So just make sure this is what you want to do, and this is like know what type of modeling you want to do. Also, like that's the most important. Know what you want to get into and who you're working with, and do your background checks on these people because some of them will take advantage of you. Let them.
Okay. Miss Cat, as a photographer, what do you see that we need to do as models that can help you all be better photographers?
First thing first, before agreeing to a collaboration, or even if it's a job, request for a conversation.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
lot of times people, photographers may say, "Oh, here's the information, read over it, move board, and I'll meet you and let's go out." If the person can't have a 10-15 minute conversation minimum with you about whatever the project is, paid, unpaid, whatever it is, if it's an agency that's doing it for you, then they will handle that part. But there needs to be a clear, concise conversation that occurs.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, we have to come to a clear understanding of ownership of rights of the images, because a lot of times, as Angel said, your brand, your image. You may have came into the industry wanting to shoot with everybody, and please be selective. Just like you're picky about your clothes, you're picky about your shoes, be picky about who you shoot with.
Amen.
Important.
Say it.
And when that comes to your brand and you as an individual, there's always sometimes there's going to come to this point where there may be a quote unquote a little tiff between yourself and your photographer when you want certain images taken down. Just from a photographer to a model, as I would say, from the mommy type figure, when I get in that mommy type mindset, I do that with everybody. I don't care if you're a model that's 80 years old to an 8-year-old. I'm always say, don't shoot with nobody if you didn't sign anything. I don't care if it's free. Sign a contract.
So in other words, we need to come in with contract in hand.
If they didn't present you with a contract, you bring your own contract.
Absolutely.
TFP or not.
Okay, what's the Houston market like?
Houston market is booming. It is jumping. We are Atlanta Junior. We are Atlanta Junior, honey. And when I say it, I truly do say it. Houston is its own country, bumpkin type, fashion, you name it, we have it.
Bumpkin type. Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they come here and it's like, oh, y'all real country, but yet y'all so fashionable. Honey, we are elegance. We are your Southern Belle of the South, or what's, they don't really say Texas is the South, but honey, we the South. I don't care what they say. But the market is here. There is opportunities for you to walk. There are opportunities for you to shoot. Designers, there are clients here to purchase your custom outfits, your boutiques, things of that nature. They are here. It's all about, no matter what industry, what line you work in, it's all about what? Networking. Networking gets you in places and opportunities that you would have ever thought about. And it's not always because of, if you have a unique look, a unique walk, talk, whatever it is, let it shine. And Houston is that place right now. We are we actually would like for y'all to stop moving here, but at the same time, I want you to move here because I want to take your picture. So come on down, come visit, follow those Houston hashtags to find out different things, because you never know. Just because you may see something about, we have a lot of celebrities that are moved down. So you may see events that they attend. See who was the host of the event. See who shot the event. Go follow that person. And I promise you, Houston is not as cutthroat as people may think it is. It's really a welcoming place, and we do believe in collaboration.
All right. Well, Mr. Lisa, you hear that, right?
Yes, I
Maybe
do.
your next trip need to be going down there to Houston.
That's right. Can I go back a little to the conversation regarding the photographer and the model?
Yes, ma'am.
Because what you all were saying as far as having a contract is so important, because I have done photo shoots with models and go to publish the pictures, and then all of a sudden they'll say, oh no, take that picture down. So it's very important to have that contract and let the models see the pictures before you release them. And so you'll know what you can release and what not to, just to avoid that type of confusion.
Yes, ma'am. But isn't it true? And maybe this is a Miss Cat question as a photographer. Let's just clear it up. Photographers own the rights of the pictures.
Photographers own the rights to the pictures unless a commercial license has been signed. So, for example, designers hire photographers strictly for a shoot. If they sign an additional portion of the contract, which is a commercial release that allows you to use those pictures in any way other than manipulation, because a lot of people will say you cannot manipulate. That is don't go in and play in Photoshop yourself. Do not put filters on it. That's actually violating 99.9% of your contracts, a lot of people do not read that part. You're violating your contract when you put filters on there or
Yes,
you
ma'am.
try to edit your
Tell
own.
it.
But there is a actual commercial release, and the photographer, if you didn't sign one with them, those images actually belong to the photographer. So if they submit your images to a magazine, if they want to submit it to a contest, those things fall under that particular right. Your commercial release gives you a set number or a set time that you can use those images, or you can negotiate a different type of contract where you can transfer ownership. This is something that seems to be a gatekept type of situation in a photographer side
Okay.
that a lot of people don't know. You can actually set up a contract and pay a certain amount of money, and then you can actually transfer ownership of the images. That is something I want designers to truly, truly, truly look into, because I have a really close soror friend that's something that she does. She gets her ownership of her images.
Mhm.
And one last thing I just want to let everybody know. Photographers are not going to give you the raws. The raws are their fingerprint. The raws are their life and soul. Please, because that's like a daily conversation all over the world. It's all of the universe, even the aliens are talking about it. You're not going to get the raws. So don't ask for them. You may ask the photographer, is there certain images that you would like to extra edits done on? You can ask. They may be able to do so. They may say, they may charge something, or you want something sent to a retoucher. You can ask, but you really can't control what they release and what they don't release. That is up to whoever paid for the shoot and the photographer.
Jacinta, how do you feel about this information?
I feel like that's just how it's always been.
Yes.
Like overall, I feel like that's like a big argument for models. Is like, like if they're pictures of me, like why can't I have my photos? But I feel like you said, like there's no contract, or y'all don't talk about the dynamic of what's going on with this photo shoot, what's getting released, what's allowable. I feel like that's just how it goes. Like, I mean, I don't actually have the picture, so how could I make a fuss about something that I don't have
right.
One, like
right.
But yeah, I feel like talk about it so you don't have that confusion.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we need to start coming in. We're at 42 minutes. We end in approximately 18 minutes. And I wanted to ask Cookie, what do you think about the information you've already received? What are you hearing us say to you?
I learned a lot about the contracts. I definitely need to make some contracts moving forward, and I learned that, and then I learned about I need to get involved. I didn't know it was that easy to get involved in the fashion shows, but I guess
well, you're just starting, so you're just learning, and it's okay, and it's a growing experience. And as you go along, you'll understand more and more and more and more. We just hope you keep growing forward, and hopefully you stay safe. You make sure you try to use a buddy system. If you've got a photographer that's going to do a shoot with a model that and the model says, well, come on, Cookie, let's do this shoot. You guys make sure you use the buddy system. Don't go in there empty-handed. And that's what Miss Cat was telling you, have some kind of contractual agreement to say what can be printed and what cannot be printed, what can be manipulated, what cannot be manipulated. So those are things you need to look at. What about you, Angel? Have you had that situation where, I know you're with an agency now, but do you have a contractual agreement that you utilize with your agency that you go in with, or they handle it for you?
Oh, no, they handle they handle everything, man. I remember when I got signed, like I said, 2 years ago, everything was in Spanish, and my Spanish is not the best. But I went through it, and I went through with my mom, and I was reading everything. And the reason why I brought up the image part, because that was the biggest part to me that stuck out.
Right.
And under the image part was like, whatever I had if I put the photos in the Facebook group, but I put it too late. I had long curly hair, right? And it was like, for example, if this is how we shoot your digitals, you cannot change your look or image for at least 6 to 8 months, and then you can talk to us about it, and then we can say yes or no. And then
Right.
when I had to shoot with Skechers, the image that are on my Instagram that I posted of them, I didn't really like some of them, but according to it, I signed the waiver rights for all commercial use. So when the
Right.
photographer lady said you could
Miss
negotiate that,
Cat.
I didn't know, Miss Cat, I didn't know you could do that. It was kind of like my agency was like, well, Angel, you signed this, you agreed to it, they had the rights to it. And then I didn't even pick none of the photos. They didn't really give my agency them back. They just took them to Skechers and they put it on the website, and then they just gave me a few and it was like, all right, we'll keep the all 50 of the rest, and you only get like 5. So
But you got something.
I got something. It's never the ones that you want though, but it's always it's
Well, they're
something.
going to keep the best ones.
Never the one.
Just be
Yeah,
realistic about
the
it.
creative, because you're creative director over the shoot, they in their mind they're looking for something else, and in your mind you're seeing yourself as this ultimate. It's like, why would you pick that over this? But even the photographer, sometimes we don't have control over nothing. They give us a mood board, they give us these beautiful models to work with, and then the creative director, none of us, like I'm stuck out, you're stuck out. The creative director and the company makes the final decision, and we all like, but I didn't like that. But the goal was met, so that's the main thing. The goal was met. At least you did walk away with some images. But like I said, sometimes you can ask your agency if they can negotiate for you to get additional images from the photographer, or you could just reach out to the photographer themselves to possibly work with them if it's not in violation of your agency contract. Please keep that in mind first.
Question for you, Miss Cat.
Oh no, that's not Shaq. But I do know somebody that has done some work for Shaq. That's my next.
Okay. Well, I heard Miss Cat. I heard that it's not good for us to approach our photographers and ask for, additional things. I'm just saying.
That's when I say that's why you have to establish the conversation. The conversation and the networking allows you the opportunity to let you know exactly who you're dealing with, what their vibe is, what are their goals versus what your goals are. And nothing ever, they can only say no. No, it's not going to hurt you.
Exactly.
So I will always say, hey, can I shoot you? Hi, I would like to work with you. I walk up to, sometimes I'll be out with friends and random people, I'll just walk up and say, you're so beautiful. I'm a photographer, and they looking at me like, I was like, I want to shoot you. And they look, and I have to actually pull up my Instagram. I guess I just don't have this photographer look. I'm not sure. But
whatever that is, okay.
Yeah. And I have to explain to them, it's like, hey, I'm a photographer. I would like to shoot you. Please visit my website. Here's my direct phone number. I want to speak with you and see what we can do. That's no different for any models and designers. You work with a photographer, you saw some additional images in that set, that shoot that you did, that session, and you want access, just ask. Because those photos may be the photos that you need that will turn your portfolio around and your opportunity doors begin to open more, because you had those additional images that normally would have went in the back of their reserve for a year later to recycle, to put back on social media a year later. So ask.
Well, this has been some valuable information that's been shared. I love the fact that we talked about New York Fashion Week. I think it's going to be fantabulous. Mr. Lisa, I hope that you get to do New York Fashion Week or either Paris Fashion Week like you want to do.
Me too.
Miss Cat, you need to be over there in Paris doing your thing. I already know about you, lady. I've seen some of your work, and it is fantabulous. It really is fantabulous. And Angel and Jacinta, I know you're going back for Fashion Week. Miami Fashion Week, Atlanta Fashion Week. That's going to be more than 2 days. because Lewis Jones is going to produce it. We're going to get that produced here in Atlanta, where it's more than 2 days of fashion shows going on. And Cookie, we want you to come down and model and enjoy yourself and have some learning experience and meet up with some of the fabulous people we have here. You all have been fabulous as an audience. Is there anything anybody would like to share that they got going on? Please let us know. Ms. Delisa, is there anything you got going on that you would like to share with us?
Yes, we're launching a youth fashion show. It'll be at the YMCA. The flyer is not ready, but it will be. And I would like to post it on Colorful Creations on the website. And we will be looking for youth ages 5 to 15 to model.
All right.
And so if you look for that flyer.
Miss Jacinta, what do you have for us going on? I know you got something.
I do. At the moment, I really just have like a lot of shows. I have a lot of traveling ahead of me.
Okay, give me something in October.
In October, I think I'll be in Atlanta.
Oh,
I'll be in Atlanta for Mr. Debonair's show.
Tour? Are you doing
with Vivian?
Oh, you doing with Miss Vivian? All right, that's
what so I'll be down there for that, and then I know like my personal project. I'm aiming to do it like next Valentine's Day. Just a little toddler fashion show for kids. I'm planning on doing it my job, but like that's my next project.
That'll be fun. That'll be wonderful. Keep us abreast of what's going on, okay?
I
know you talked to Lewis, so I know you're gonna let us know. Miss Cat, what do you have going on next?
Well, we are in the process of getting ready for another art exhibition. I'm getting ready for it, so I will be looking for models in Houston. So if you're visiting Houston within the next 6 months, reach out to me. This is a unique, very unique art exhibition that I'm trying to put together. So if you're interested, I'm your girl. Come on down to Houston.
All right. Well, thank you for that opportunity. All right, Angel, what you got?
Just like I said, the fashion show tomorrow in New York, and also like some personal stuff I'm doing because I'm trying to move more into the influencer game. I'm very introverted, but ever since I got those 2 brand deals now, I'm like, okay, I got 2. I could probably get 2 more. So I'm just gonna do a lot of stuff here while my time is here in New York because I am going back to Guate next month. So I'm just gonna keep trying to just pump out content and try to do both.
All right, sounds good. I wish you the best of luck, sir. And Miss Cookie, what do you got coming up next, darling?
So I have the Harley Davidson bikini competition finale coming up.
Yes, you were in the Harley Davidson. I was told that. I'm so sorry. I neglected to say anything about that. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I had the finale Friday, and then some photo shoots, and then my birthday's coming up in October.
Oh, when's your birthday?
October 2nd.
Okay, mine's October 30th. Okay, Virgo. We'll get October together. We can celebrate.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Well, right now, I would like to take the time and say thank you to my whole panel. I appreciate you. Love you much. Model love. I want everybody to prosper and do well. Go forward and make it happen, babies. It's out there. Go get it. Model love to you all. This is your girl, Zaharraa Geyhanna, saying good evening and good night. Thank you so much once again for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Hopefully, you'll come back. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Y'all. Recommend somebody. Come on and be a panelist. It ain't hard. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.